guys, today we're catching and cooking lake trout. Stick around, I'm going to show you how I caught this guy in Woodland Caribou Provincial Park. I'm being outfitted by Red Lake Outfitters. We got flown in and we're getting flown out and we're catching all sorts of fish. We're catching and cooking our way through Woodland Caribou Provincial Park. Stick around. Does that look like a delicious lake trout or what? Lake trout. The big brother of the brook trout. You can tell it's a lake because it has that forked tail. If it's a flat tail or a square tail, that's a brook trout. Forked tail is a lake trout. All trout are delicious. Hey guys, thanks for joining me again. Guess what? The Ridge is back. They wanted to sponsor another one of our videos. They love you guys. They love our content. They love this channel. So the Ridge is a replacement for your wallet. What the Ridge does is takes your bulky wallet. Oh wait, that's not a bulky wallet. I've already lightened my load, but that's as small as I could get. It replaces it with this. This is an everyday carry. I don't normally carry my wallet around because it's so big and bulky, but this is easy to carry. It holds all the cards that I need. Push up the bottom to expose the cards and then pinch the back. That'll fan out your cards. Then you can grab the card that you want. To put it back in, simply slide it in. Pretty easy. There you go. The case here comes with a screwdriver to tighten up those bolts if they ever come loose. Guys, there's a lifetime warranty on this and they'll ship worldwide for free on any orders over $40. Guys, ditch the bulky wallet, invest in the Ridge. So we're afternoon of day 5 and kind of on a whim, we decided we're going to Adventure Lake. We are on Haven and we're tired of being here anymore. So we're going to go try to catch some lake trout and we're going to camp on Adventure. We caught a couple on a day trip, a couple lake trout, but the problem was that we couldn't stay in one place in order to get our lines down deep enough to catch them well, although we still managed to do it. So the idea is we get over at Adventure fairly quickly, set up our tents, and then be lined up for the evening bite, and then we can wake up early for the morning bite, and then from there we're going to travel down to, I think it's called Welkin Lake, and there's a river creek system that will wind back through to Wrist, which is where we started and where we'll end up, and we'll be able to have 2 days maybe on Wrist. That's another lake trout and pike. So I think that's the wisest decision given the circumstances. If you've been tracking us along, there's some forest fires to the north of us, so we can only travel south. And we have a few possible exits. We could stay here, but we've explored all around this system here. So if we go back down to Wrist, we have even more options. So can't control Mother Nature, can't control these forest fires, so we're making the best of it. So we're packing up. We got, it was an hour and a half as a single carry, so it'll probably be 2 hour and 15 or something, maybe twice as long as a double, because now we have all of our gear, not just our fishing stuff. All right, man, this is a go-ahead fish. Tide 2-2. So better not mess it up. But
I hope he loses it at the boat like I did.
Jeremy gets half points for maybe quarter points for the pike. 10th point.
Yeah, it's the go-ahead walleye, but Chris is still way behind on total fish today. Oh, you can't count that one.
They all count. Oh, it might not be able to count if I lose it.
Yeah, he's just lip hooked, eh?
I'm just gonna catch him just so I can have the go-ahead walleye.
Yeah.
Just barely hooked. There we go. I'm even improving on the net. But I am turning around. It's a lot easier to turn around on the boat than it is to off the front.
Although that front cross piece is a real pain, eh, for flipping around.
Well, yeah,
it's pretty close.
Who put that there? Anyway, I don't know. I might let that guy go. It's pretty small.
Yeah, he's going back.
Jeremy just asked why we have so much crap. Just a lot of crap. If I do this again, I'm not going to bring this much crap. I'm gonna make sure the person that comes with me doesn't bring as much crap either. Because you're kind of a team mode here, so if one of your guys is loaded down, then you're all loaded down. I think it would be more fun if we just did ultralight. Then you're much more mobile. anything you bring with you, you have to take care of, you have to mind, you have to pay attention to, you have to pack and load and organize and make sure it doesn't get broken and all that stuff. And then you got to get home and then you have to unpack it, sort it, and put it back in its place. Then it becomes work. So, but it's good to know what you can afford to bring, and then you look back on your trip and you decide all the things that you never used. You can eliminate those next time. That's all part of learning, and then next time maybe you just don't want to do all that extra work. Off to Lake Trout Lake. See if I can grab all this in my one hand. We're not at a single carry portage anymore, or anymore ever. We're not that good at this stuff, and plus we're here for quite a length of time. So if I'm grunting, it's because I got a tripod that weighs 3 pounds and a camera that weighs 3 pounds in my left hand. And in my right hand I got a wad of fishing line, fishing rods and net. And it's pretty hot and sunny. We actually saw a bear here the other day, so I don't mind being so loud talking. This is an old burn. You can see around me here, everything's burnt. There's no shade here at all. And Jeremy's gonna come in here and pick some berries. Well, Jeremy and I grab some berries here because yesterday was my birthday and we just ran out of time to make me a cake, a birthday cake out of some corn, flour. It was a nice surprise. Just big storm blew in. We couldn't get what we wanted to get done. So that's that. And here we are. This is our Lake Trout Lake, which is something we wanted to do for a while, is fish a Lake Trout Lake in the evening as it calms down and we can actually paddle properly. So as we make our day down to the lake here, see that we're about 5 p.m. or so. It's light out till 9 or 10. And yeah, so we got lots of time left. We did this portage a little late, but it was after we got our news that it was safe to do so from Harlem. I'll just get down here and we can put in and paddle across. Those loons freak out every time they see people. Let's get real chatty. Whew. All right, so here we are. Here's Adventure Lake, full of Lakers. So we are in a pretty burnt over area, but the benefit of the burnt over area is there's tons of berries. So Jeremy's going to tell you what we're doing.
Picking berries. We are picking berries and we are going to, well, I'm going to bake a cake for the wooded beardsman because he just got old while we were out here. And Be a shame if you didn't have a birthday cake, so we're gonna put one together. We have maple sugar that we brought up.
And because it's my birthday, I don't have to pick my own cake.
No, you just had to pick what you wanted in it.
That's true. There's a pile of raspberries behind us too.
Yeah. So we're gonna do a mix, right? You wanted raspberry blueberry?
Yeah.
All right.
No bunch berries in this one.
Chocolate icing?
Sure.
Sorry.
You brought some, right?
No.
Hit it all this way.
That would have been a good. That would have been a good trick, though.
It would have been.
Have an iced cake out here.
If you want to come to Woodland Caribou Provincial Park to pick berries, you should come. What, we're late July?
Yeah.
Late July. You'd be peak.
Pretty close.
It's
like there's still white berries on the plants.
We lucked out, but we had to decide while we were here what we wanted to spend our time doing. And we can pick berries back southern Ontario, northern Ontario, but we can't get fishing like we can get here. Jeremy probably would like to
put some aside for the big wild year.
Yeah, Jeremy's doing a big wild year, so you have to go over to One Wild Crafter, check that one out. He's eating wild foods for the whole year, so he might be able to save some, but he'd have to portage them all out, which would be a little bit of a chore.
Yeah, I might try and pick some at our last lake.
Yeah.
We'll have like a couple of empty containers in our food bag.
I might eat them on the drive home.
Nope. I'm gonna buy a box and a lock.
Better be bear proof. So yeah, we had to decide if we were gonna fish or pick berries. And the choice is pretty obvious.
Pick berries and then fish.
Yeah, we do a little bit of both, but mostly fish.
Yeah.
We've eaten a lot of fish in this trip. Every day.
Yeah.
Fish.
Twice a day.
Twice a day. Yeah, and we're gonna do it again today. We've got 2 walleye stored back. So even if we don't catch a laker, we're still eating fish twice a day. And if we concentrated even more, we could get a lot more fish. A lot more fish.
Yeah.
But we're fishing enough so that we're able to cook them as well in different ways. And also do some exploration rather than just stay in one lake.
Every time we've fished, we've stopped when we've got the amount that we want to eat.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you could come up here and fish all day and catch and release a lot of fish.
Sure.
We haven't set out to do that.
We talked to one group, or we heard of one group, and they caught 1,600 walleye
In a week?
Yeah.
2,400.
Yeah, on their trip. That's
guys.
a lot of fish, and they probably fished all day, right?
Yeah, and that was their goal.
Sure. So you can do whatever you want if you come here. You can explore, you can do a trip, you can do sit in one lake and fish it out.
You could target trophy pike, you could eat all the walleye you can stomach.
Or do a laker. Now we got our berries, now we can go off to the island. There are I think 3 islands with campsites on here, but they're burnt. They're burnt. So hopefully we can find one that's not burnt. But it won't be the worst thing in the world because we are going to only sleep here and then we're going to pack up and leave tomorrow. So hoping it's at least a decent enough spot to camp. We don't have to hide from the sun like we did the first time we came out here because it's late in the day. So I guess I'll catch up when we get across. The benefit today of having the lake in our favor, so it's pushing us toward our destination. So Jairus, what do you got, a spoon on?
It's a Swedish pimple.
A Swedish pimple?
It's like a triangular jigging thing.
Okay. And I have a big fat jig, double twister tail, white with a orange head. And we're just trying to hit bottom. And if you've never fished lake trout before, it's kind of interesting because they go super deep. Like, it's not uncommon to catch lake trout out of 80 and 100 feet of water. So the idea, like, it's hard to troll directly vertically while you're drifting, especially if you're drifting fast, because your line will tend to want to scoop up like an airplane. So if you have a spoon on or something like that, but if you have a heavy jig, you can get down a little bit deeper. So we've been casting forward and then catching up, and then the line will fall down a little bit better. But on the other side it was a little bit shallower, so it was a little easier. Yeah, it's interesting. It's a cool fish to fish for. I'm going to show you my jig. So that's what I'm using. It's a little simple jig with the double twister white. And that will work for lake trout. You can catch them in the winter too, just the same. A little easier through the ice. But it's like a brook trout, but a lot bigger. Good eating too.
Show me what you got there.
Red head and a white jig. I think that's a big 3/8 ounce. 3/8.
And a two-tailed.
Double tail.
Yeah.
Big fat hook. That's
cool.
It. Drop it down to the bottom.
And it is not the same windiness that it was when we were out here before. It's not windy.
Oh.
We are slow drifting and we are having no trouble getting down about 40 feet probably.
Yeah, easy.
So this is good. So we're just going to drift our way along until we catch our trout or two for supper and breakfast maybe. We have those pickled to clean. Walleye. Walleye. What? Fish?
Fish on.
Oh, come on. We've been here like
Fish on.
10 minutes. Okay, hold on a second. I got to reel up my... Oh, I don't really need to reel up. Maybe we'll get a double header.
Oh yeah, that's a good fight too. If I can land this one on that stupid hook though. That's the thing.
Yeah, so Chris is not really a big fan of the single hook on the jigs. He really likes the treble. I'm fishing with a red, well, an orange Swedish pimple with a treble hook. That's a big fish.
Yeah, it's a big fish. I'm gonna play this guy out.
This might be a fish to let go.
That's a big fish, dude. We are playing this fish out. That's a big laker, dude.
This is exciting.
This is a big laker. Oh, look at it thrash in the water. Can you see it? Oh, stay down, stay down, stay down.
There he is.
Oh, stay down.
If he gets to the surface, he'll have a better chance of tossing that hook, eh?
Yep.
That's what the wooded beardsman is worried about.
Every time it turns its neck.
Oh!
Oh, it hit it.
It's in the net.
No, that's good enough for both of us to eat.
That's a pretty big one.
It's pretty big, but it's not a super big laker.
No.
There
That's
we go.
a beauty.
Done.
Woo! There. 5-10 minutes of fishing and like, oh yeah, we'll drift the whole lake, that'll give us a good chance, and then like we hardly get started.
Oh man, my adrenaline's going, man. That's a great fish. That's awesome. And you can see, I don't know if you can tell, but that hook is just in the top of its mouth, right? So if it twists funny, that's it.
Yeah.
It'll spit it out. So it's an easy hook release, but at the same time, if you want to catch a fish to eat, it's risky.
Were you getting double duty out of that tripod?
What? You're filming that, man? Yeah, using the tripod for
as a fish bonker.
Fish bonker.
Yeah.
Alright, that's how to do it.
Okay.
Hey guys, check it out. That's a good 3 pounds probably. That'll feed Jerry and I both, for sure. That's a good sized lake trout. Perfect eater. So we're hoping that we can camp on this island that has trees on it rather than those islands over there which have no trees on it because they've been burnt by the forest fire. So we should be able to find a spot here. They're marked on the map.
Don't show that part on video.
So we really lucked out on this spot. We have pre-cut firewood. Somebody left us some firewood. As windy as it might seem to be, we're actually pretty shaded and sheltered with these trees here. It's not all burnt. There's lots of firewood around. Flat spots here for a tent right here. It's a beautiful spot. And if you want even more shade and shelter, just back here. But we're only going to be here for one night. One night. We are fishing our way through Woodland Caribou. And that's just how it's going to go. So if the wind doesn't die down, we're fine because we do have a fish. Nice lake trout to eat. And Jeremy's got 2 walleye held back from Haven. And then tomorrow we're gonna set off again on another adventure. Look at this land. It's all ours, man. We're getting off the beaten path now, away from everybody else. Not that there's a lot of people, but because everybody got redirected to the south of Haven, we are running into a few more people, which is very atypical of your experience if you come up here to Woodland Caribou. It is very remote otherwise, but because of the lightning storms that caused the forest fires, 9 of them, and that's compressed the park. So what would ordinarily be people fairly spread out is now condensed into a smaller area. So for the duration of this trip, I've been using a thermarest. I would highly recommend getting some kind of sleep pad. Sometimes you end up on moss, sometimes you end up on rock, so you kind of have to be ready for that. If you're a small kid, you'll probably be fine. My tip about the thermarest is if you're not a super, you don't need the extra large or whatever, get the woman's. This is the woman's version, and it's a lot cheaper than the men's version. And they're exactly the same size because I took them out in the store and I checked. There's no difference between them. My sleeping bag's probably not really worth mentioning because it's heavy. I like it though. I think it's, for me, it's worth the weight to carry it in. I do have my own little pillow here. This is took this off the couch and then unwrapped it. That's worth it for me. I sleep a lot better with the pillow. I have a Cedar Summit waterproof because it's really important to keep your bedding dry. As we found out last night, if you get wet and cold, you're done. This is a LL Bean sleeping bag. I think it's synthetic fibers. It's definitely not down-filled, but it's a pretty heavy sleeping bag, but I prefer it to my down version. I found the plasticky material I don't like. It makes me sweat. Does that look like a delicious lake trout or what? Lake trout. The big brother of the brook trout. You can tell it's a lake because it has that forked tail. If it's a flat tail or a square tail, that's a brook trout. Forked tail is a lake trout. All trout are delicious. If you come to Woodland Caribou, you can fully expect to not be worried about firewood. There's quite literally firewood everywhere. I mean, somebody moved this just so they could have a tent pad here. They're moving burnable wood and it's just littered everywhere. Even all these little cones here you could burn quite easily. This is pretty typical of the type of things you find. Lots of moss, almost everywhere moss. And these spruce. This is the boreal, the real boreal forest. Lots of rock. And then this isn't a good example, but there's some old man's beard, which makes good fire lighting. Can't find too much on this island, but on the mainland there was a lot growing. But in a pinch, this stuff will burn too. It gets dry enough. The usual way we've been starting fires is twig fires. So you grab these ends here and ball them all up. The twigs, ball these all up. And then you can use a lighter. You find enough of these twigs, a lighter will catch that on fire. And because everything's so dry, you really don't have to work super hard. All these little twigs here, lots of resin in them. That's what causes those forest fires. You can see somebody did the perfect thing here. These two rocks aren't there by accident. Somebody knew exactly what they're doing. So this is the Voyageur Purcell Trench. And whoever was here before us even left, they didn't leave the kindling here. This was tucked over the side, but this is all you need to start your fire here. You can see, we'll add a flame to these branches, just a little bit of flame on those sticks, and they instantly go up in flame. And then from there, we just add more twigs. Those are MSR pots, came as a kit. I think it was 50 bucks or something. Actually, maybe 2 kits, but they're worth it. Stainless steel, they've taken a beating and they keep working. And I'm not sponsored by MSR, so for what that's worth, I would recommend them. Say Jeremy wants another plug, so I'm gonna give him another plug.
Yeah.
He's been begging for plugs, like, can you plug my channel?
Please mention my next video.
Can you plug my channel? You have way more subscribers than I do, and I don't feel like it's fair. Anyway, no, we're kidding. So you made a mess of those walleye, did you?
Well, I filleted them with this knife, and
knife?
This is a J. Valenti stone knife, obsidian, and so these are boneless fillets, but I kept the skin on. I didn't scale them, so we're gonna cook those on the grill. And I saved the heads because we're so partial to eyeballs now. It's true.
The
eyeballs are so big.
Were you too lazy to scale them? Because you could definitely have scaled them with that knife.
I could have, but I changed my plan partway through cleaning them. So.
Ah, I see. So we're gonna have to peel the skin off the back of them.
Yeah.
As we eat them.
Like season 1 of the Wilderness Living Challenge.
All right.
We're going back in time again.
We are. This is a big fish, a big lake trout. And we already know that we can eat probably one between the two of us this size. So we may cut it in half and eat half of it now and half of it later, or we might cook the whole thing now and then eat half of it tomorrow. Cooked. These are big fish. Oh, we got a treasure already. We have roe. We have a pile of fish eggs here. These eggs are great to eat. They taste just like a chicken egg. Very rich in omega-3 fatties. This is what our modern times are missing, the fatty oils from fish. So we're 100% gonna keep these, set them aside. There's also lots of nutrients in the guts here that people don't normally eat. The stomach on a trout, oh look, there's another row of eggs on the other side. So it's obvious that this is a female. Here's another good set of eggs. We'll keep those. We could eat the guts. We won't eat the guts. We're supposed to eat the stomach from a fish before. We never did that. So I think we probably owe you guys a trout stomach at least. Trout stomachs are pretty good. Chewy like calamari. We've eaten the guts before. We won't do that today. It was more as an exploration to figure out whether we could do it or not. And now that we know we can do it, it's not a big deal. You know, we'll throw the nutrients back in the water. There's a few birds having a fight over there. Not sure what that's all about. So we got a trout stomach. We have the eggs, the swim bladder here. That's very good. I'll keep the swim bladder out. That's gonna be another bonus item. And then all we have left that we can't really eat is the bloodline. I mean, you can eat it. It's not very palatable. So we're just gonna rinse that out in the water here. And I'm also gonna remove the gills because the gills are not good to eat at all. All empty on the inside, just needs a bit more rinse. Here's our trout stomach and our swim bladder and 2 handfuls of eggs. That's a lot of meat. So we got the leftover bits, which most people wouldn't eat, but we are going to eat. We have our trout. Jeremy did a walleye with some stone tools from J. Valenti, and in there is my secret that I never knew was in there. I think it's a birthday cake, but walleye skin on. I think Jared's gonna flip it or check it.
These ones are actually ready to eat now. Have a look.
Sure. Beauty.
Almost ready to eat, maybe.
Did you put any oil on that, or is that straight up?
No, that's just oozing out of them.
Wow. Got the fat from the skin oozing out. This is some cornmeal mix.
Not yet.
With berries. So if you are wondering where we are, we came from Haven Lake. We did a 375 and then a 275. We paddled through a couple stretches here, a couple stretches there. Now we're on Adventure Lake. Tomorrow we're going to try to fish in the morning, but it probably won't happen, to be honest. And then we have a 275, paddle down an unnamed lake, a 675, paddle down another short stretch, 650, and we'll get into Welkin Lake, which is also Beamish Creek. Looks like we're going to be paddling upstream, so that should be interesting. We plan on camping on Welkin Lake, and then what should be interesting is we're going to see a falls over here, which is neat, and that's coming out of Wrist Lake. We originally were supposed to go up to Restoule, Gammon, Royd, and then fish Constellation, but we weren't allowed to go anywhere further north than Haven. So we're going to cook up those eggs. Jared's going to put some oil in there because that's all we got left. We don't have anything fancy schmancy.
Do you need it to warm up first?
Maybe we want it to heat up. Put it right in the fire to heat it up. Jared's going to eat the eyeballs of these fish, it looks like.
We'll share them.
We'll share them, one each.
Yeah.
I think we co-caught them from our last trip. Alright, we're going to call that good enough because I'm not that patient. Oh, a little bit of sizzle there. And the other batch of eggs here. And we're also going to throw the stomach in there. And the swim bladder. You guys should really give these a go. Next time you catch a trout. So what I've done is basically I've gone all the way down the spine here, and then on either side of these called the anal fin, I think. And then we're gonna spice it on the inside here, like so. I found the best way to do it is to actually put it meat side down, skin side up for a little bit and then flip it after that. And that does the best job. And we'll just put that right on the rack. And we'll let it have as long as it needs to take. Pretty much done to me. Alright, so Jared pretty much worked away on the walleye. I pretty much worked away on the trout. If you want to watch Jeremy's video, yeah, it's a walleye. You can figure out how he stone prepared his meal. Or our meal, I guess. His portion of our meal. These aren't going to cooperate apparently.
Sure.
Oh, you're eating the pieces.
They're like dry scrambled eggs.
They're like really fishy eggs.
I think they're like really eggy fish.
We'll try some walleye with adobo on it. We still have a whole trout to cook.
And eat.
That's good as always.
The adobo spice is pretty good.
This reminds me of eating the pike on season 1.
Off the skin.
Peeling the skin because Jeremy didn't scale it, so we're peeling the skin off the back, or the meat off the front, whichever you prefer.
How many pike did we eat like that? And perch?
I think you reminded me of 17
17.
or 19 or something.
I don't know if we did them all with the skin on, but we did a lot of them with the skin on.
We ate a lot of fish.
Yeah.
Try to survive off that. And part of the reason we didn't do pure survival this time. You heard what I was saying. There's only a couple people who complain that they can't hear what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Because I'm talking when I'm eating. See, now I lost my train of thought.
The only reason we're something.
Oh yeah, the only reason we didn't try to live off just fish in the park here was because we know it's not really entirely possible. Although if we started eating the eyes and the brain, maybe be an interesting experiment to try.
Yeah.
See if we can keep up with our calories. We're burning a lot of calories.
Yep.
Every day here. All right, so they're done now. Put them back on for a second. Cut them open. Cook the insides of them. They're chewy. Really chewy. Really, really chewy. If you want some really fatty for breakfast, that's what you would eat. Fried fish eggs. Lots of calories in them. Right, so it's good. Eat your trout stomachs, eat your trout eggs. Eat the eyes too, the brain. Cook that all up. Don't throw it away, guys. Really good calories in them. So there's my birthday cake. Blueberries and raspberries and all that sort of stuff in there. Yummy.
Those from the Woodbeard's wife. They were part of the package.
Yeah.
Yep.
The question is who's gonna sing to me?
Bonne fête, Christophe. Bonne fête, Christophe. It's too windy, your candles went out.
Oh jeez.
How old are you?
I guess I get my wishes because nature's blowing them out for me.
Are you? Ah, too windy.
There's my birthday cake on my birthday. Well, no, sorry. Belated.
Belated birthday.
Alright, so I get to make a wish. Alright.
Hey!
Cool. Let's eat.
Alright.
Actually looks really good.
You can smell the maple syrup.
Mmm. Still warm too. Fresh out of the oven. That's a good texture.
It's got a lot of berries.
Yeah, it's not cakey. It's more oatmeal-y or mushy. Pudding.
Cobbler.
It's good though. I like to say it's not good. It's definitely good.
It's challenging conditions to bake a cake.
It's always challenging to cook over fire. If we make it look easy, it's not easy.
No.
We're constantly monitoring and tending and keeping the temperature right. Trout's still over cooking, so maybe after the sun sets, we're gonna eat some trout.
Maybe guaranteed.
Maybe guaranteed, or tomorrow morning. That'd be fine for tomorrow morning. If you're going to book a trip with Red Lake Outfitters, please let them know that you watched my video, because he wants to know that the advertising, or the sponsorship, I should say, bringing Jeremy and me out here is working. And I would encourage you, if you want to catch lots of fish and cook lots of fish and eat lots of fish, to book a trip, because while I outfish Jeremy and trout today, there are times when Jeremy outfishes me even. So that's saying something.
Like all the other times?
Totally immune to the jokes now.
Well, I just was trying to remember how many trout you caught when we were here last time on Adventure Lake.
It was,
when I caught 2. I remember catching 2, but
I think it was 2-0.
I'm sure it was 2-0.
It's the kind of place you don't actually mind getting outfished, because it means you're still going to get to eat fish.
You're still catching fish anyway, right?
Well, you're
not getting skunked.
You're getting to eat the fish no matter what.
No.
It's not like because I caught the fish that Jeremy doesn't get to eat them. And vice versa. So it's all good. It's jokes, guys. It's all jokes. So do book with Harlan. Give him a ring. You guys should be seeing these in the fall. Book for the spring. It's a great time to come out for lake trout. They'll be nice and high up in the water. You can smoke them. They'll be in the 20-foot, 15, 20-foot. You'll be able to cast for them real easy. And it's not hard to catch walleye here. And pike,
the berries are hot.
You'll catch by accident. Yeah.
I would ask for advice though to plan around the bugs and the berries probably. Yeah.
Yep. July for the bugs, or July for the berries. May, June, you're gonna watch out for the black flies and mosquitoes. We're late July here, and there's not many mosquitoes at all.
No, some deer flies.
Yeah. But good trip.
Yeah. My camera's running too, so I'm gonna say what he said.
Yeah. Ditto.
And then we're gonna shut those cameras off.
One wildcrafters, people. And you can subscribe or not, I don't care. Subscribe to Jeremy, he cares. He needs subscribers. And if he gets subscribers, then he can come out and do this more often.
Huh?
Yeah. Alright, there we go. It's mostly cooked. It's such a big, huge, gigantic fish.
Huge and gigantic.
That we'll pick a few pieces off there and we'll just throw it back on it. I wanted to show you what that finished piece of meat looked like. How good does that look? The only thing better than that is if we smoked it all night in alder.
Like we did with that rainbow trout?
Yeah. Best trout in the world.
That was.
And as you can see, this whole center section, which is the backbone, will peel out easily now. But I'm going to keep it together because you're actually going to put it back on the grill. But I want to show you before it got dark. So dig in. Oh, you got a piece already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had a little bit. Oh,
so
a little bit more.
Now you can take those little bones I was telling you. Just pull them out like little needles. Pull them as you would expect they would go into the flesh if they were growing an embryo. You know, like little roots. Because sometimes they'll pull off the meat, which is okay. It's part of the nature of the business. You can fillet it too. This is the best way I think you can do it without wasting very much meat. Like that is not a lot of meat to waste.
Well, and I sometimes just eat those like they're like a toothpick appetizer or something.
Right, you can eat them, and then you're gonna get the spice. The other way is just to let it rot. And if you are meticulous enough, you pull them all out, and then you have a boneless fillet.
Yeah.
Right? Like you can eat this whole thing, including the skin.
Yeah.
So that's the way I would recommend to eat it. And see, now I'm pulling off a little bit of spice, so maybe there's a better way to do this. I don't know, because that's pulling that spice off. It's not a big deal. It's still getting in there. Maybe with time we'll figure out a better way. But for now, that's not bad. Yeah, I mean, let it rot, fillet that skin out. Like, even probably with a knife, you could probably
just fillet them out.
Fillet them out.
Use a little bit of meat.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're out for real this time.
Yep. Later.
See you in the next one. Gonna dig in.